The 7 things you should be talking about today. Number 7.
Ban NPR right now. And look, Congressman Dale Strong from the 5th District has a bill to ban NPR. And yesterday on Capitol Hill, the CEO of NPR pretty much made the case for shutting it down altogether. If you were following what happened yesterday, the CEO of NPR got absolutely decimated on Capitol Hill, partly for dismissing the NPR story, partly for her own stupid, nonsensical tweets where she said we need to have reparations. She called Donald Trump a bunch of names, all sorts of stuff. She just got absolutely decimated. And it is time to defund NPR. They do not serve the purpose they are supposed to as a nonpartisan news organization. We don't need them for community anymore. We have enough TV, radio, internet, etc. Defund NPR now.
Number 6.
State Representative Andy Witt warns that Delta 8, that's right, Delta 8, a substance sold without oversight in Alabama gas stations and bars, is harming children, with over 40% of the 2023 poison cases involving kids under 6. It's also disrupting schools with gummies and vapes. Witt is proposing the Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board licensed sellers ban the sales to those under 21 and set THC limits that would limit the potency of Delta 8 products and tax it. Unfortunately, this is just another way for us to get more intoxicants into the system. I mean, that's really it. This originally started as an attempt to ban these things. And now we have gotten to the point where we're like, okay, what if instead we just legalize it and tax it? But this is moving forward. This is probably going to happen. I don't like it. Not a fan.
Number 5.
First, it was the TikTok. Now we're talking about DeepSeek. Governor Kay Ivey, who I'm guessing knows what neither of those things are, has now decided that Alabama will ban DeepSeek and TikTok from devices put out by the state devices and networks, following a memo highlighting their, quote, unacceptable risk to data privacy and cybersecurity linked to the Chinese government, and moved back by Attorney General Steve Marshall, who called DeepSeek a serious national security threat. The ban follows states like Tennessee and federal entities like the U.S. Commerce Department, while also allowing for the banning of similar software from China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. So all of this is about potential cybersecurity problems inside the state of Alabama and beyond. Ban these things. Let's ban TikTok finally. Let's go.
Number 4.
An Iranian doctoral student, Alarizo Durudi, has been studying mechanical engineering at the University of Alabama and has been detained by ICE agents. And by the way, for absolutely nothing, guys. I'm sure there's nothing to this. Her F1 visa was revoked about 6 months into her run here, yet they stayed, and that'll get you put out. The Crimson White reported that although her student visa was revoked after she got here, the university's International Student and Scholar Services assured him, they keep saying her and him, whatever, would be able to remain in the country legally as long as they maintain their student status. By the way, which is clearly not true. And I would point out that the university's International Student and Scholar Services, not where you should go for your legal advice. Just throw that out there. Oh, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure there was totally nothing wrong with this person being here.
Number 3.
The fallout from the Signal story, the Signal app story, where a reporter, Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic, was put on a text thread, continues. And now Elon Musk, the National Security Council, and the White House counsel's office will be investigating the inadvertent inclusion of The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg in this chat that had Mike Walls, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance in it, where they were discussing Yemen attack plans with President Donald Trump. His team says the war plans framing is a hoax, and that's exactly what it seems like, because no classified information was shared. But here's what's troubling. This story is working on the American people early on. 75% of Americans say this is a serious story. When the Hillary Clinton scandal broke, 56% of Americans thought that was a serious story. You know why? Because the American media is on the attack here. They're not going to give cover for years to Donald Trump like they did Hillary Clinton. And they're surely not going to lie for her at every turn. That's just not going to happen. They're going to use this to try to take down people inside the Trump administration and probably Trump himself. They're going to fail, but they're going to go hard on this. They already are.
Number 2.
Haitian immigrants are eating cats and dogs. Sorry, that's the wrong story. Haitian immigrants in Albertville are self-deporting to Chile and Mexico after President Donald Trump ended the Biden-era CHNV parole program, as activists claim the revocation leaves them with few options amid Haiti's ongoing crisis. How are they getting out of here? Apparently, they're taking some very expensive shuttles. That's how this is being framed. But they are self-deporting. I think I'm supposed to be mad about this? Is that what so they're self-deporting themselves? Where the country's not having to do it and they're leaving? They're not supposed to? Okay, cool. Representative Robert Adderhold, a Republican out of Haleyville, backed this decision, citing the program's abuse, fraud, and overwhelming impact on local services while praising Trump for enforcing immigration laws. This is good stuff. Self-deportation. Put yourself out.
And today's number 1 thing you should be talking about today.
What does this mean for Alabama? President Donald Trump introduced a permanent 25% tariff on auto imports. I would, utilize that word permanent loosely, okay? See, now we are constantly saying, there's going to be tariffs. No, there's not. Anyway, he claims this will revitalize U.S. manufacturing and reduce the budget deficit. But the policy rattled the markets. Foreign leaders, including Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, sounds like a villain, calling the tariffs an attack on global trade, which it is, vowing retaliation. But some are praising the move. Who? Well, the United Auto Workers. Their president, Sean Fain, endorsed the tariffs, calling them a remedy to decades of trade devastation, expecting thousands of union jobs in states like Michigan and Ohio. The problem you're going to have with this, I believe the problem you're going to have with this is you're going to have a bunch of stuff that goes back and forth across the border, auto parts, things like this, that are going to get hit with some of these tariffs, and it's going to cause an increase in prices to a lot of different vehicles, maybe not just the finished product. Okay, so we got to think about that for a second. But Donald Trump promised this. This is exactly it. The goal is to get people to build their stuff here. And when you get someone to build a massive plant, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? You get a lot of parts manufacturing and stuff like that. That's the goal. You want to have this stuff come in here. You want to make sure that you're doing more and as much as you can inside this country. That's what Trump said he was going to do. Promises made, promises kept. And look, this is how this stuff works. Now we get to see what the end result of this is. And what we have a lot of people in this country, like, I guess, praying for a recession of some kind. I hope it works. I hope we have a bunch of manufacturing come to the country, and I hope it helps the economy. Let's see what happens. And look, this is exactly the conversation Donald Trump said we were going to have. So here we are having that conversation. And you can participate in this conversation quite easily by picking up the phone here today. It is simple as always, 205-545-9950. You might want to get your questions in for 10 with him because, I'll just tell you, you need to get those questions in for 10 with him. We'll answer them today and tomorrow. And stay tuned for that. Keep your radio locked right here. It is the fastest hour of radio anywhere on your radio dial. It is News and Views.
You're listening to News and Views with Dale Jackson